Dinner, también me llamo Sabio o Evil Joe.
Evil Joe! Evil Joe! No es bueno! No es bueno! Malos! Me llamo Emald.
Llamo Mater.
Yes, and I am Burning Ninja. I'm not playing along because I'm a force board.
Ah, you're no fun. Today we fight Espinas.
Wait, but we have someone else with us today.
Oh, what?
Mailer,
Yes?
introduce yourself for the fans at home.
He did.
I already introduced myself. I just did it in Spanish so you didn't understand it.
Mucho gusto.
Alright, so here's Espinas for everyone to see. He's a sleepy baby, and it kind of takes a while to wake him up.
I was also a sleepy baby when this started. I am still hanging out back at base camp.
And so, as you can see, you bounce off pretty much everything of Espinas. So, being a melee against him is kind of awkward sometimes.
Yeah, he's kind of like Ognoctor and Devil Joe put together. He has an armor mode where he doesn't take a lot of damage from melee weapons, but he takes more piercing damage, or bullet damage, whatever you want to call it.
His tail is still safe to hit, luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah, his tail and his belly are the only weak spots in this mode.
Yeah. And then, like Devil Joe, when he rages, he takes more damage, and he wakes up.
I think we should wait for social dissonance to point out the unique quirks of Devil Joe.
Yeah, well, Espinas works a bit differently anyways, it's just a comparison.
Also, I'm not sure whether social distance will be getting to Evil Joe or Devil Joe, since I don't know if he's doing online content.
I have faith in social dissonance. We have a special weapon today. I have brought a gun lance. These are not in Frontier.
You mean try?
Try, yes, they are in Frontier. It's a very special weapon that is both a gun and a lance. I can shoot blasts of fire, which you may have seen earlier, and they do raw damage like bombs.
And knock other players flying as well.
Ah, good times.
It's a
So right now,
fantastic
Espinas
weapon.
is enraged, and this is the mode where you do the most damage.
Yes. And you can tell he's raging very vividly because he glows, and he likes to charge around an awful lot.
Dude's like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, so as you can see, I don't bounce nearly as much. You still bounce on the legs, but everything else, you won't bounce on it.
He has really, really tough legs.
I think he actually might take less damage in his legs when he's in rage mode. I don't remember specifically.
So one of Espinas' many gimmicks, on top of being a really big jerk and running around really fast when he's raged, is most of his attacks will poison you.
Yes, and his fireballs that he shoots out, not only do they poison you and take off most of your health, but they also paralyze you. They're really nasty to be hit by.
Fortunately, I don't think any of us got hit by fireballs in this video.
In a couple of test runs, we have had lost casualties to the fireballs.
They're pretty nasty.
Yeah, they're probably the worst thing to get hit by, but pretty telegraphed. You don't usually get hit by them.
Yeah.
When he started raging around, you saw me flash him, and you can flash him when he's not raged, but it's really pointless because you just bounce off of everything.
And he moves really slowly anyways.
I think we get a good shot of wyvern fire here.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
So, gun lances have a special thing where every few minutes they can do a wyvern fire. That is that huge explosion you saw.
Wyvern fire works differently in Try, but in this game, it is the power of your regular shot multiplied by 4.
And it's just pretty badass in general. It's the whole reason that anyone uses gun lance, in my opinion.
Cool dive!
And I think we've actually broken his left wing at this point. Espinas has a ton of breaks. You can break both his wings, his spines, his horn, and his chest, and you can cut off his tail. And they're all pretty much worthwhile breaks.
You beat him up pretty badly. Nice launch. Touchdown. You get poisoned and everything.
Yeah, and I forgot to bring antidotes on this fight, so I ended up just toughening it out and fusing potions.
We all forgot antidotes because Frontier lets you be lazy, and we do not have antidotes in our item sets that we bring.
We do, however, make it demon drugs and armor seeds and everything else.
Yeah, we drugged out for this fight.
Yep.
Yeah, I used an ancient potion and everything, made it all out.
It's not actually required.
Espinas is no joke, so don't hold back on him.
We worked really hard to fit this in the 15-minute time frame for you viewers.
I didn't think it could be done with the level of weapons we had.
No, I knew it. I had faith in us.
Here's the part where I consume an extra mega demon drug because I'm too stupid to notice it's not an armor seed.
The rainforest is nice and covered in foliage. I hope you enjoy the sights while we're here.
Yeah, for those of you who played Unite, you'll recognize this area, but if you haven't played Unite and you've only played Try, this is Rainforest, and it shows up, obviously, Unite. Introduced it after Freedom 2.
I think it was actually in Monster Hunter 2. It's a lot smaller here than it is in Unite. In Unite, they made all the areas like twice as big.
It isn't in Freedom 2, but in Unite they introduced it, along with the Great Desert, Old Volcano, and Old Swamp again.
Oh man, and right here, Nerd is demonstrating the most lethal part of Espinas when he's not raging, and that's being caught between his feet and his tail. Where you just get tripped.
It is very dangerous to try and attack his tail when he's not raged. I got knocked into safety, it's okay.
Yeah, that is very nice of you. I think I just go right back into the face of danger. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, but here we go. Protection ticked off.
Yeah, and he's actually being a huge jerk right now. He rarely attacks when he's not raging. Usually he just walks around.
Yeah, like this, which is arguably more annoying because you can't hit him.
You can see us trying to reach the tail and it's not working very well. Let's tell them about protection, because protection works differently in these games.
Okay, well, how about you tell them about protection, because I'm not sure how that works in Try.
Alright, in Try and basically every other Monster Hunter game, protection, it knocks down some of the damage you take from an attack. In this game, protection just eliminates all the damage from a hit. It takes off either 1/8 or 1/4 of the time, depending on how many points in the skill you have. It's a very nice skill. Unfortunately, it does not protect you from any status effect. Perfect trap.
Yeah, and if you want to go for tail cuts, trapping him when he's raging is pretty much the best way to do it.
Same goes for the spine. His spine is hard to hit normally, so if you use a pitfall, you get a very great... What was that?
No, that's one of his moves. He doesn't really do it that often, because usually he just does the horn thrust, but sometimes he like shimmies forward and does 100 hits or so.
I meant me being knocked around because I'm a chump even though I have a lance.
Oh, well,
Yeah, Amal is still getting used to the gun lance, and he doesn't realize it has a shield most of the time.
to be fair, I think he mentioned on Vent that that attack did like 100 hits and drained all of his stamina and sent him flying.
Yeah, I shit myself because he hit me like 50 times doing that, and I'd never been hit that many times by the swipes.
Yeah, because the horn hits you, then the tail hits you, and then he does that like 2 more times.
The wings as well, I think.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everything Espinas does hits a million times. Like the charge hits you 3 times if you block it straight on, and that's all your stamina if you don't have guard +1.
Poor Mailer trying his damnedest to paralyze Espinas, and it's not doing any good.
It really didn't help, no.
He's really not that easy to inflict status effects on. At least I've never really seen him become paralyzed or slept or poisoned. Actually, sleep would
Yes, he
probably
has
be
high
easy.
tolerance to all statuses because he himself inflicts all of them. Well, except for sleep, but he's a sleepy dragon anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him paralyzed, but it's usually just not worth it. It's so much damage that you you could be doing that you're wasting on Parashot.
Paralysis also lasts a very short time. It's really just not worth the effort. If you sleep Espinas, if you manage to sleep Espinas, he does drop a shiny, as some of the monsters in Unite will. I think Hypnoc, they changed that in Unite, and he drops a shiny when you sleep him.
Yes, that's how you get Hypnox shiny.
You see a nice example of latency there. He runs over the trap before teleporting back in.
Yeah.
The woes of Frontier.
And another thing right there is that you kind of notice is he will curve and arc when he does his charge, so it's always safe to just roll out of the way rather than dodge and get hit.
Or in my case, blowing Nerd out of the way.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I've learned to just dive or block whenever I'm trying to get a monster in the trap, because he always runs over it and hits me anyways, before teleporting into the trap magically.
Espinas is such a sleepy dragon. I feel kind of bad. You know, he's all tired and we won't stop hitting him.
And then he gets angry.
At this point, we've actually broken his horn. We'll get a shot at it later, I think, but we're just slowly working our way to having a dead Espinas.
Yeah, I think I actually broke his horn before we put him in the trap, but for whatever reason it didn't update it on anyone else's end, and I was the first one to zone in, so I don't know what was up with that, but he definitely flinches before he goes in the trap.
Here you can see my pathetic efforts to try and flash him, and that one worked for some reason.
Yeah. Flashing Espinas is kind of a gamble just because he's always turning and running when he's raging.
Nerd trying so hard to hit the tail, but it's not doing any good.
It's like 10 stabs missed there.
Yeah, it's high up, and it's like just at the edge of the reach for the lance, and it's moving around so much.
Espinas is a fairly large wyvern. His tail is usually much higher than most weapons reach. Nice dive.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to cut the tail on a gold or silver crown Espinas. That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, you'd have to use a longsword, I think, or traps, lots of traps.
Probably both.
In this case, I asked for traps.
Yeah, and here's me with my pro move, putting a trap down next to his trap.
Yeah, well, that won't be shocked after latency again.
My flash did not work. In here, I was just so depressed.
But we do get
Off
his
with
tail.
And there's the chest break right there.
Not a very good shot on YouTube, but I think Google users will be able to see it better.
Like Gravios or Visarios, when you break Espinas' chest, he takes infinitely more damage in that spot afterwards.
I feel kind of bad for the Tri players, because I'm not going to know who we're talking about.
Here we see Sabriel desperately going for that tail card.
And he gets a
Wants it
tail
so
from
bad.
it. Yeah, he actually got a tail off of it, which I'm impressed, because despite it being a 50% chance, it seems like I never get tails from carving his tail.
Verf tried to put down a pitfall, but he messed up horribly, and so we used a shock trap instead. And now Espinas goes back to sleep.
I didn't mess up horribly. I mean, I put it down, just yeah, I ate a charge for it, and then he gets shocked anyways, so, well...
It actually showed up as you missing the trap on my screen, so I had to drop one.
Yeah.
Espinas is sleepy. It makes me sleepy.
And we get a nice, you get a nice shot of his unbroken spines just taunting a mauled.
Yes, Espinas has a bunch of parts, and one of the biggest things you need from him are his spines, which are a very low rate, and if you don't break his spines, you may as well forget it. Burning Ninja being a jerk in the background, kicking me.
You can get spines from breaking his wings as well, but you have to break both wings, and even then, you get a better chance from breaking his back, so...
Yeah, gun lances are kind of the king of the after quest combat rounds.
It is me. I am the victor.
It's my one gripe with the bow gun is, you don't have any sort of party launching stuff outside of your cluster shot.
Alright, and that was Espinas. Thank you for watching, everyone.